AP World History students, obviously I'm not in my classroom right now. I'm actually in my home classroom at the moment. So my third bedroom kind of became this little office area. But I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about the course in general, what to expect and what to expect from me, along with what I expect from you at the very, very beginning of the course, especially in the first 9 weeks, since we are going to be virtual for the first 9 weeks. So let's get started. All right, guys, so hopefully you can see me now along with my screen at the moment. All right, so I do want to talk about AP World History Modern. Now, before we begin anything, everyone asks, well, what's considered modern? So according to AP World History, it is going to be from 1200 CE, which is what you guys know as AD, to present day, roughly around 2006, 2007, right when you guys were born. All right, so that's that. Another thing, AP stands for Advanced Placement. And all Advanced Placement means is that it is a program run by College Board. The same people who do the PSAT and SAT, and they give you an opportunity to actually get some college credit. So let's get started to talk about what the test is all about, what this course is all about as well. All right, so let's get started with this. So what is AP World History? I kind of went over it a little bit. It stands for Advanced Placement. It is the newish type of AP World History course because it starts in 1200 CE. Along with that, 2 years ago, it actually was a full World History course. And they're actually going to be splitting it into two actual AP World History courses, one being the one you're taking right now, and an AP World History Ancient class. All right, so that's that. Moving on a little bit about it, this is just kind of the course overview and description that they have. It is one thing I do want to highlight is that it is a college level course. So when they say that it is a college level class and you're going to be expected to do college level work. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. There is going to be a test at the end of the year. It's going to be May 10th of 2021. Hopefully the world hasn't burned down by then, but you never know at this point, honestly. So the thing is, you take this test, and when you take the test, a couple of months later, you're going to get a score 1 through 5. There's a total of 4 different parts. The first part is going to be a multiple choice questions section. And this isn't your very easy multiple choice where it's just gimme points. They're actually considered SBMCQs or stimulus-based multiple choice questions. So you're going to get a passage and then you're going to get a group of questions that go along with that. You have 55 questions that you're going to have to answer, which means you're going to have 55 minutes to actually answer that section. At one point, I'm going to actually have you guys be timed in this, multiple choice section when we take tests during the school year. So moving on to the next section, which is the SAQ section, or what is better known as the short answer questions. There's going to be 3 questions you're going to have to answer. The big thing with this is that there's going to be 3 different parts to an SAQ, and you're going to have to answer all 3 parts. So the second section is the doozy one. You actually get a break right before this section, but you have an LEQ and a DBQ. So the first thing you're going to take is the LEQ, or what is considered the long essay question. All it is that you're going to get 40 minutes to answer a prompt with whatever knowledge you know about that part of world history. Usually they roughly stand about 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs total. It's nothing too terribly bad, but it is something that you're going to have to do, and you're going to have to be very proficient at it. All right, so then comes the last section, which is the document-based question. Now, when it comes to the document-based question, this is the one that everyone freaks out about. There's really no reason to, because it's actually very easy once you get the hang of it, and believe me, guys, you will get the hang of it. All right, so moving on past that, with the document-based question, it's going to be 60 minutes. 15 minutes of it is going to be where you're going to read everything that you're going to need to, which is a prompt that you're going to get, and then 7 documents that go with that prompt. That 15 minutes is included in the 60 minutes. So if you get done with all the documents and everything and you are ready to write, and you only spent 7 minutes on it, that's fine. Take the rest of the time to actually go through your DBQ and actually write it. All right, moving on. So how do I get college credit, or how do I know I got college credit? So when you, at the end of the whole entire year in July, they're going to come out with your scores. If you get a 1 or a 2, I'm sorry, you did not pass the AP World History Modern exam. If you get a 3 or better, you receive college credit at the majority of every single school that you're going to apply to. Places like Harvard and all those Ivy League schools usually just take a 4 or 5. They don't take the 3s, but that's about it. One thing I do want to note, I've never gotten a 5. I've had a bunch of 4s, but I've never had someone get a 5, so I'm really hoping it's going to be one of you guys. So moving on past that. So things that you will need to succeed, this is like your materials list, so please write this down if you really need to write it down. But this is what you need. First thing you possibly need, depending on how the school year goes, so don't get this right away, is binders. You can get a multitude of 2 binders. I went through 1 trimester last year in 1 2-inch binder. So I actually needed a second binder for the second trimester that I taught this class. We may kill trees, we may not. It just depends on what transpires in the next couple of months. You will need some organization skills, just because there are going to be times where hopefully when we're back in school, I will be handing out papers and things to jot down ideas that you have in general. All right, so you do need some organization skills. Loose leaf paper, you will need this even in the first 9 weeks. 1 ream will probably do, because we will be writing some, and I do want you guys to actually write on paper. We're going to scan through everything that you need to send to me and send it to Google Classroom. So there's that. The other thing you definitely need is either a black or blue pen. And the reason for this is that you're going to be writing a majority black and blue pen because of all the writing that's going on. I don't care what kind of pen you get. I get these really nice fancy ones because those are the only ones I really like writing in. And then on top of that, you also need pencils. This is for when school starts back up. Don't worry about it right now because obviously we're not going to be doing any sort of multiple choice, which is the only section that you're going to need a pencil on for the actual exam and for actual class. All right, so that's that. The other thing that I want to point out is I talk about my fancy pens. These are the ones I like. I like the big Gelosity ones. I'll send a link down below on Amazon where you can get them. They are really nice. They write really smooth and they write really neat, which is what I really like. I also have these felt tip pens, but those are mostly for grading purposes. So that's that. On top of that, one thing that I want to point out is definitely optional. And when I mean optional, I mean don't have to like go through this psychological evaluation on whether you actually need it or not. If you don't want it, don't get it. All right, but it is a book, and it's this book right here. You can see mine is already kind of torn up a little bit because this is one I used last year. But this is an AMSCO World History Modern Edition. You can find it on Amazon, or you can actually go on the AMSCO website, which will both be linked below as well. Guys, this is for the people that cannot read on like a phone. Like they just can't do it. They want to take notes and everything along those lines on physical paper. And it can be shipped to your door if you want. I'm going to give you guys the option. Last year I printed out I basically printed out the whole book for them every single time they had a reading. But obviously I can't do that for at least the first 9 weeks. So that's that. That's just for you if you want it. My suggestion, if you go on Amazon and order it from Amazon, don't get the brand new fancy spancy book. Just get the used books. Usually there's some awesome writings in it or highlights in it that'll help you out. The AMSCO website, you can go there. It works just like Amazon, put in your credit card information, all that fun stuff. But again, it is completely optional. And the reason why it's optional is that I have scanned every single page in this book, basically. All right, so I'm going to be posting your readings for the nights that are needed that week so that you can actually write and read and do all the things that you need to do. All right, so again, this is just optional. If you're like me who has to have a paper copy of a book and actually have to like sift through the book. All right, if you can read on your phone or your tablet on a PDF and just scroll through, hey, more power to you. I'm not that person. So that's that. So again, optional. I want to make that extremely clear. It is very optional to actually buy this book, just for those people that need it. All right, I think I've reiterated myself enough. Let's move on. All right, and the most important thing that you guys need for this class is a willingness to learn with a great attitude. And I don't mean that lightly. I'm not trying to make you get all motivational and everything along those lines. I don't really work that way. But the thing is, guys, is that you may have talked to people that have taken this course in the past. It is going to be a class that you're going to have to work hard at, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. But you being able to have the willingness to learn and having a good attitude towards that learning and knowing and expecting yourself to be able to do work every night, basically, is something that you're going to need for this class. All right, it is grueling. I do talk to you guys throughout the course, just making sure that you guys aren't getting burnt out or anything along those lines. But it is something that is very, very necessary for this course. All right, this is not a typical honors course. When I say it's college level, it's college level. All right, so that's the big thing I want you guys to get away from that. All right. This is an awesome picture from the song China, which is actually the first thing we're going to talk about. I'm not going to get too much into it now because obviously we will talk about that when school starts. But I just wanted to come to you guys to kind of make sure that we're all on the same page on what to expect, what things you need. There are going to be a lot more videos that come out, and you guys will get those when I actually make them. So see you guys later.